Hey all, back with another Starborn episode 10 summary. The team was called out by the agent. Being brought to a location, they started hearing news reports of devastation across the world. This strained the superheroes of the world trying to hold this tide back. They are being brought to a city where a number have been evacuated, but there were still citizens there. A large colossal creature, surrounded by small harpy-like beings that were scattered throughout the city, was sieging it. A supreme rank hero known as Purifier was facing the Colossus itself, but not being able to be everywhere and using most of their attention to handle that, the team was needed. The group scattered quickly, getting the citizens to the west end and out of the city before going to investigate what might be causing this. The agent believed it was a portal and gave them full authority to wipe out as much of the city needed to close this. Upon arrival, they realized it wasn't a portal, but a being trapped in some kind of magical forced evocation. Eventually, they realized this being was the one known as Unknown. And after a bit scuffle between teammates, they freed the creature from this incantation. Meanwhile, the Dark Colossus managed to defeat Purifier, crushing him pretty badly, and began to make its way towards the team. Dominating poor Unknown, they managed to banish this Dark Colossus with Unknown's powers, and sent Tremor. And Tremor decided he was going to go find Purifier. The other two discussed what to do. Diving deep into the unknown, they realized he wasn't a supervillain, just someone constantly hunted by those who use the mystic arts. They decided to bring the creature to Mr. Immortal rather than turn it over to the agent and keep it on the down low. Sentience had a discussion with Mr. Immortal about his possible future and the future of Abigail and what she might accomplish. Meanwhile, Tremor found Purifier and managed to heal them enough that they were able to recover on their own. Purifier thanked Tremor and asked for her name before heading off to help others. Meanwhile, Iron Maiden, after meeting back up with Tremor, searched the city for more survivors and found some arcane marks around a bunch of new mutations from the Starborn. They all announced that they were all scratched by these harpy-like creatures and that triggered them changing. Meeting back up with the agent, the team was debriefed and debriefed him, passing information back and forth, but not revealing where Unknown was or that he was the source. The agent sent them to various cities to help with cleanup. A few days passed, and Tremor, working with her company, still working on cleanup, had Juggernaut 5 come through the door asking for a job. Without even a thought, Tremor agreed, gave him a job, didn't ask about his history. Meanwhile, the others decided to start investigating more into Dark Torrent, who visited them. They spoke with Professor Kana and the magician, the only ones registered to visit. Kana seemed like she was being hired by someone else. She refused to say who due to her contract, but Sentience was able to pull that she is being hired by the government, possibly for the agent that they work for. They then went to the magician, realizing he was not the one who was actually down there with Dark Torrent, but one of the robot drones. So they brought their investigation to the principal, Mr. Immortal. He didn't seem to know where to go with this, but he was concerned that the Dark Sorceress would deal with such thing with what happened on campus earlier. He didn't think it could be her, but the devastation caused to the cities could definitely be. Meanwhile, Tremor, on site with a number of his employees, all who are ex-cons, was approached by a hero called Virtue. Virtue asked that Tremor try and keep, as much as he appreciates the help, try and keep the company's name as quiet as possible while the reporters are around. He didn't want citizens turning to ex-criminals for any kind of life for themselves. Tremor gave Virtue the cold shoulder and went back to work, making sure her crew knew that they were more than respected with her. Later that evening, after some time had passed, the team finally reassembled. Many transponders and radio waves were taken over to hear the Dark Sorceress announce that yes, the devastation was caused by her, but she wouldn't pinch herself with such minor things such as a school, leaving most of the world confused, but our heroes knew what she meant. And that was episode 10, guys, for Starborn. Hope everyone has a great week, and I'll see you next Saturday. Bye.